What is that one book that absolutely changed your life? The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. I had zero intention to stop smoking when I started reading that book. To say I was skeptical about it would be an understatement. I was a heavy chain smoker. Smoked more than anyone I knew. But I went cold turkey after I read it. 3 years strong. I have not had a single puff since finishing that book. If you smoke, you want to read this book now. I wish I read it earlier. Undefined. Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. The things other people have put into my head, at any rate, do not fit together nicely, are often useless and ugly, are out of proportion with one another, are out of proportion with life as it really is outside my head. There is a monster at the end of this book. It really led me on a journey to overcome my fears and deeply examine what it means to be a monster. Also, pulling really hard against Grover to turn the pages helped me get buff. Really, I was helping Grover face fears he was not ready to face. But we faced them together. Probably Redwall because it got me into reading as a child. And later writing. A Brief History of Time. The insanity and complexity of the universe was explained in understandable terms. Bonkers. When I was 13 years old, I had a long school bus ride home from school, almost an hour long, and would pass the time by reading. One day I was in the library frantic for something because I had no book and picked out an astronomy one that was called From the Big Bang to Planet X by Terence Dickinson, and had a fetching picture of the Andromeda Galaxy on its cover. That book. Wow. I was completely enchanted about outer space. And by the time I was done reading it, I knew I wanted to be an astronomer. I remember thinking at the time how fantastical it was that people could have that job. But anyone who was an astronomer was 13 once, and this was a thing you could do. Even if you lived in Pittsburgh. Anyway. That was over 20 years ago. And there were many twists and turns along the way. But I'm now 2 years into working as a professional astronomer at Harvard. I just submitted a paper last week on a black hole that ripped apart a star. Which was super fun to work on, and I couldn't help but think a lot about how excited 13-year-old me would be to see how it's going. I don't know if she would have believed it. Mouse. The first and only graphic novel to win a Pulitzer Prize, undefined. It is to this day the only book which has made me cry and feel hurt. It makes the whole subject feel very personal.